So I've been using Windows since I first started using computers. So I would say over 15 years now. And when you're a tech nerd and use something for that long, you kind of tend to learn fairly unknown things about that operating system. So I thought I would share a few shortcuts that I use on a daily basis as an advanced Windows user, and hopefully you can learn something from these. Let's start with an easy one. Some of you might already know it too. The new Microsoft Edge is based on Chromium now. That basically means it's a lot like Google Chrome, which in turn means that you can enable floating videos on YouTube on Windows 10. So if you're using the new Microsoft Edge or Google Chrome, you can right-click twice on the video you want to watch in a floating window and select the option for picture-in-picture. Now you can simply navigate to whatever app you want to see and your video will remain on top as a floating window. You can even resize the floating window if you wanted. While we are on the topic of YouTube videos, I think you should know about the YouTube shortcuts. Almost everyone knows that you can press F on your keyboard to go full screen on YouTube, but did you know that you can press I on your keyboard to open the currently playing video in a mini player? You're welcome, by the way. I've seen a lot of people have actually started texting from their PC, whether they use the Your Phone app or they use one of the web-based messengers. But what is weird about them texting from PC is that they rarely use emoji. That primarily because when they use emoji, they search for the emoji in Google and copy it from the search results and then paste it in their messaging app. You and I can both agree that there are better ways to do that. But the best way to do that, in my opinion, is to press the Windows key and the semicolon key on your keyboard. This will show you a list of all the emojis that you can scroll through and select the perfect one for you. But you don't have to scroll through the giant list to find the perfect emoji if you don't want to do that. Instead, after pressing Windows key and semicolon, you can just start typing to search through the list of emojis. And once you start using it on a daily basis, it will keep the most recently used emojis on the top of the list to make it easier for you to select them in the next time. One of my favorite new features on Windows 10 has been clipboard history. You can access it by pressing the Windows key and the letter V. When you first use this key combination, it will let you enable clipboard history, and from then onwards, it will keep a history of the last 25 things I think that you copied. You can simply click on one of the items on the clipboard history and paste it. This is an extremely useful tool if you're working on a school essay or a report that needs multiple sources. Be careful though, because all your clipboard items will disappear when you restart your computer, which is why this is now my favorite tool for clipboard history. I use another tool called Ditto, which does almost everything Windows Clipboard does, but you can store unlimited items on Ditto and it doesn't reset after you restart your computer. Usually when I try to capture ideas, I don't want to have the friction of typing anything. I would rather take audio notes for my thoughts. But on Windows, opening the voice recorder application then hitting record is not really a smooth experience if you ask me. Also, there's no automatic transcription available on Windows voice recorder, unlike what I have on my Android phone. So my favorite way of capturing audio notes is through dictation and sticky notes. You can create a new sticky note by pressing Ctrl N and start listening, and enable Windows dictations with Windows key and H key combination. Although it takes a few seconds to initialize when you first open it, it starts listening and transcribing as soon as it has finished initialization. And the best part is, as soon as you use your mouse or use your keyboard, dictation will automatically stop listening. You can make the dictation bar disappear by hitting Windows key and H again. As most of you might already know, on Windows this bottom bar with start key is called the taskbar. You might also know that you can pin apps to the taskbar for easy access. What you might not have known that you can access the first 10 apps from your keyboard without ever touching your mouse. Based on the sequence of the app, you can press the Windows key and their position on the toolbar to open those applications. For instance, on my taskbar, the first app is YouTube Music, so if I hold the Windows key and press 1, it would open YouTube Music. If I press 2, it would open Todoist, 3 for sticky notes, and so on. It can be done for the first 10 apps ranging from 1 to 0 on your keyboard. One of the best features on Windows 10 is file management and their file explorer. I love how it works, but I also hate the tab shortcuts on the top. I think it just takes way too much space for way too many useless items that nobody really uses on a daily basis, which is why I think Windows also lets you hide this toolbar. But that's not efficient at all. Now when you need one of those tools, you have to expand the menu and select the tool you needed. But there is a better way. This top bar on a window is called the title bar. You can actually customize these shortcuts that you have in the title bar. First, you can enable a few common ones such as undo, redo, or new folder. But the best part is you can add more tools to the title bar in Explorer app from the menu tabs. If you use a tool often enough that you need it to be accessible all the time, you can simply right-click on that tool in the menu tabs and click on Add to Quick Access Toolbar. This way you have more real estate on your window and its content, and you still have access to all the tools that really matter to you. But that raises another concern, because when you hide the menu tabs, you might notice that it has become harder to switch between different styles of views on your Explorer. But in order to quickly change the size of your icons, you can hold Control on your keyboard and scroll with your mouse to slowly increase or decrease the size of your icon. And if you want one of the standard sizes for your thumbnails, you can switch between multiple views using Control Shift and number 1 through 8, 1 being the large thumbnails option and 8 being the content view. A lot of people give a lot of crap to Windows Search, but I think it's one of the most convenient search tools that exist on any operating system, and yes, I'm including Spotlight Search on macOS and iOS as well. First, you need to know that you don't need to hit the search icon in order to start searching. You can simply press the Windows key and start searching. I think most people do that already, so that was not the tip I wanted to share. Once you are in the search tool, you can obviously do some basic search and get web results, but you can also do some basic calculations right in the search tool. It also presents you with a calculator if you want to continue working on that math problem. The best part of this search tool is that you can search based on categories. For instance, if you're looking for an app named YouTube and not a file named youtube.txt, you can search by typing apps followed by YouTube. This will only search for the apps named YouTube and ignore the other results. Similarly, if you were looking for the youtube.txt file instead of the apps, you can search for it by typing files, and then YouTube. This time it will only show you youtube.txt and not the app. You can search the web for pictures using the same technique. You can also do the same for videos if you want to search videos using Windows Search. You can also open folders by searching only for folders in this way. This is a very handy technique. You should definitely try it and make it a part of your daily workflow. Well, that's all I have for you today. If there were any tips and tricks that you think I missed out and I should know about, please let me know in the comments below. And if there was even one trick that you found useful and you think you will make it a part of your daily work schedule, please like this video. Anyways, thank you so much for watching. This is Keith.